Hey guys, welcome to another NASCAR diecast, custom diecast video. Just wanted to give you guys an update on what I'm working. Right now I'm working this 2020 Kyle Busch Pedigree in gold car. And so I've got some decals already on the car, as you can see. The roof, I've got this Cup Series decal across the windshield, and the decals on the back. Pedigree decal here, which is actually a little big, and I just kind of had to trim it to size a little bit, and I'm kind of tucking it as well in this area. So, yeah, used a little micro sole on this to get that to lay in there. So, yeah, and then just looking at this hood, right? So, the hood decal is something on my finger there. The hood decal is pretty big. And unfortunately, though, I'm getting a little micro sole here. The decal comes with the stinking hood pins printed on it. It's just a pet peeve of mine. Nothing I can do about it. But the and those hood pins don't line up. So it's unfortunate. But, I mean, even if I were to slide this back, it's unfortunate. So I decided to kind of get these little lines to line up here and here with the body of the car. And then, we'll just live with the results of the hood pins the way that cookie crumbles, so to say. So, kind of working that in right now. While that's there, let me put some of these aside. And I'll get these in the water. This little front end. Oops. Come here. Headlights. And these little side. And then you got the Joe Gibbs logo. Oops. I don't like to let them sit upside down, because if they sit upside down in the water, the decal can lift off of it and float around in the water. So you don't want to do that. Just increases the chance of the decal curling and also potentially ripping, which is, I don't say that's worst case scenario, but worst case scenario is you lose it and you just don't have it. That's worst case scenario. So, which I've done before, and it drives me crazy, because I have to lift then a decal off of another set, and that set becomes less than perfect. So I hate to do that, but sometimes you have to do that. There's a little bit of I didn't notice this before I painted it, but there's a little bit of imperfect metal body there that I don't know if I've ever seen that before. If you can see that right there, I would have filed that down if I'd have seen it, but it's just too late right now. It's not that big of a problem, but it is a little annoying. I also just, not too long ago, painted the black on the side skirts here, because the black is there, and it has that little gap where the point is to the jack location, but it doesn't line up. So I pre-paint it here. That way, when that little opening shows, it's not showing gold behind it, but it's going to show the black. So you can see how the micro sole really softens up the decal, and you can see how it's kind of really curved there. You kind of have to work out those little curves. Sometimes they will naturally go away once the the water underneath there dries. But sometimes they don't. They leave a mess. So I try to work it as best I can before it dries, or as it dries, right? See, I need to cut my fingernails. Alright, that's pretty good. I got most of them out. Now I think it'll be ready to just dry, and it won't have any residual effects. Let's keep an eye on it as it dries. Come on. Grab this dog by the face. Get him on there. Ooh. Comes up a little short there. Trying to remember if I trimmed it. Maybe I trimmed it. I don't recall if I trimmed it. And, yeah. I'll have to look at that on the next one I make. Make sure I don't trim it so it extends. But I'll get the black paint pen and extend that out there. No problem. Trying to get these little lights to line up there. So you guys are getting ready for Christmas, huh? I am close to having all my shopping done. What's today? The 11th. I'm pretty close to having all my shopping done. Some stuff haven't arrived yet. But, yeah, looking forward to it. Be a small gathering for Christmas, but we'll be celebrating the birth of Christ. We always read one of the passages of the birth of Christ, whether that's in Matthew, Gospel of Matthew, or the Gospel of Luke. And we'll read that before we open presents on Christmas morning, and be reminded of the wonderful gift that God gave us over 2,000 years ago. And it's why we give gifts to one another. So, always enjoy that. Always enjoy getting gifts too. I'll be honest. Can we be honest? Man, I remember as a kid, I was so excited for Christmas. I had a flashlight under my bed, waking up at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and running out to see if Santa had come yet, or, you know, if there were a bunch of gifts under the tree. And I remember one year my parents got mad at me because I was the first one up, and I like pulled all the gifts from under the tree, and I divided them up. So I have brothers and sisters, so divided them all up. You know, this pile was for me, this pile was for my sister, this pile was for my brother, and the like. And so they were so mad because, you know, they kind of spread them around, and, you know. Yeah, that was funny. So I had to put them back under the tree in random fashion. But Christmas has always been a lot of fun. Always been a lot of fun. Focus on God. Focus on His gift. You know, like Jesus said, you know, 2 most important commandments are to love God and love other people. And if we do that, we're going to have joy. No matter what kind of COVID lockdown, fear mongering, or whatever happens. You know, I know a lot of people are afraid of it, but you know what? If we can focus on loving God and loving others, we'll be fine. Be fine. That's pretty neat. Things line up pretty nicely. All right. I tell you what, let's let that sit for a little bit longer. How are we doing on the nose here? Looks good. Oops. That's a water on my thumb. Yeah. So, let me give you guys an update on a few things. So, let's start back here. So, the Mr. RS, your 26 Colwitt 2014 gear, I'm waiting for the donor car to arrive. I saw the tracking. It's supposed to arrive on Monday. So, on Monday, I'll get after it and start working that car for you. I know that you've been waiting for that for a while. I apologize. I thought it was funny, though. I listed that Chevy number 26 on eBay after we had communicated, and you said you'd rather wait for the Toyota body. Well, that Chevy version sold in like 30 minutes from the time I listed it to the time it was bought. So it was finding a Colwitt 164 is pretty rare. So anyways, that's that. I've got the 07 Jack Daniels that I'm sealing, and as you can see, I have completed this black Kasey Kahne Pepsi car. That came out pretty well. not too difficult of a car to make. It's a little hard around this front nose, like on most of these cars, where you've got a lot of curves. The microsole is well worth its weight and its price, to work that. So that's that. I see a little wrinkle. It bothers me when I see things like that. But yeah, not blue but black, and so this is just about done. It'll dry up and I'll be able to start sealing it probably later today. And then if you've been wondering how the Trump 2020 pink car turned out, wonder no longer. Here it is. I finished decaling it this morning with the white rims. I appreciate a couple people saying, hey, do the white rims, don't paint them pink. Just do them white. And I think that was great advice. I appreciate you guys sharing that with me. It looks pretty good. I still think the red on the pink is a little much. It's not a Valentine's Day car. But the white and the pink definitely go together. So I think my mom is going to really like this car. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with my dad's regular Trump dark blue, navy blue car. I'll do the white lower valence on this car. I'll do the black roof lines and the black spoiler, and that'll finish it off. So I can put a couple coats starting tomorrow with the sealer on this, do the painting, more coats of sealer, and call it a custom. And then I'll have to work on my packaging, how I'm going to package it up for them. That'll be a little challenge. I have some ideas, but I'm not really sure 100% exactly what I'm going to do just yet there. And then Mr. Sedaris, I've got your Jeb Burton car. I've got it together here. I want to put a couple coats of clear sealer on this. This is a matte finish body. And then I'll be able to start decaling. So I'll put the first coat on there in just a minute. I've prepped all the other cars that I need to do for Christmas on the board here, or on my table here. Mr. FF, your Kyle Busch cars, I got the donors in yesterday, matter of fact. And so I'll be using these cars as the donor cars. And then Mr. JS, I've got your 4 cars that you wanted by Christmas up here. And I got the donor cars here. This is a Jeb Burton 2020 Chevy from Plan B sales. So Plan B sales came through. I ordered the cars that I got from them on Black Friday. They had some significant Black Friday sales. And actually, they came in yesterday, and I was able to go through very early this morning. I was up, and I stocked up. I sorted everything out and stacked them in here with the rest of my cars. So these are my Fords, these are my Toyotas, and in the back there, those are the Chevys. And so, yeah, I am well stocked. As you can see how deep it goes, usually about 7 or 8 cars deep there, especially in the front. I've got a great stock of cars for 2021. So excited to do that. Like I said before, kudos to Plan B Sales for their Black Friday sale. And then just regularly, they have some decent prices and wide selection. So encourage you guys to check them out for your diecast needs. All right, so I just filled this up because it was getting low. So let's get a coat on here. Yeah, you can see the matte finish. I do not recommend placing decals right on top of a matte finish car. It just doesn't look right. If there's any clear decal or area of the water slide decal that doesn't have a print on it, it will show up, and it'll be kind of a cloudy area, and then when you go to seal it, it just won't look right, whether you seal it with a gloss or seal it with a dull coat. So I highly recommend placing water slide decals on a glossy finish. Sometimes you might be able to get away with it on the white cars, but not so much. So I usually try to put 2 coats of clear sealer on these, on this matte finish. And you might be asking, Doug, why'd you use a matte finish paint in the first place? Why not just use gloss? And so, I normally do, but unfortunately, when I bought this high performance paint, I didn't realize it was a matte finish when I bought it. I mean, it works fine. But yeah, next can I buy, it'll be gloss for sure. So, yep. Yeah, and this dries pretty quickly. This, like I've said, this Pledge Furniture, or not Pledge Furniture, Pledge Floor Care finish sealer dries in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes max probably. And so I can put a second coat on here and then start decaling it. You definitely want to make sure you get all the kind of nooks and crannies on this thing. And when it dries, you'll be able to see. And it's pretty noticeable, obviously, as you can see as I do this. Try to keep it off the window net here. That's it. It's kind of a thick coat. So that might take longer to dry actually, because it's a thicker coat. All right. Pedigree car is looking pretty sharp. I like the gold. I like the gold. I mean, I like doing customs of the car the way that it actually raced on the track. But it's also fun just doing kind of one-off paint schemes. So yeah, this nose on these 2017 to 2020 Camrys don't always fan the way that you want them to. Kind of have to work them in. Work them into place. Let me get some micro sole on here. Clean my brush off. Sorry, I'm not doing so good with getting this camera, or getting the car in front of the camera where it needs to be so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to work that up a little bit and across. Okay. Oops. Get this side in here. Try to make sure it's level. Joe Gibbs logo. 18. And then lastly, we get these headlights on here. And then we'll figure out where they go. Or how they go. So a little bit higher. Right, like that. Well, Mr. FF, I hope you like your gold pedigree. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great, blessed day.